I don't have a filter on here. It's okay. Who doesn't use filters, right? Snapchat's been around forever. I'm trying to record this on my iPhone XS camera because I have stuff going on my main phone and I need it free. So, wow, I'm talking on a small screen. It's a small screen compared to the phones that they have now. I got this 4 years ago. It just shows you, though, that as long as you update it, that the phone works for years and you don't need to get a new one every time a new edition comes out. There are obviously always new features to iPhone, and I enjoy them a lot, but I had my iPhone hacked a couple of years ago and I switched to Android. The problem didn't erase itself, but it decreased whatever activity was going on. Like I didn't get as many fraud alerts, and it was altogether just bizarre because Apple usually has stronger security in my experience. And in anybody who I know who uses iPhone or Apple, whatever you want to call it, in their experience, their security was unmatched. Whatever. I use both, so I'm not really biased to either one. Both of them work for me for different functions and features, and both of them work well. I'm thankful that I have what I have. But anyway, that's not why I started recording this video. I did a series of Snapchats on a discussion I had with 2 different people today and got a little bit excited, and one of them cut me off because it was done recording. There were some things that I couldn't say on there that I didn't want to get reported for, and there are some things I'm not going to say here either because this is going on my YouTube. But I had a conversation with, sorry, I have ADHD and I blank out a lot, but if you stay with me, you get the point of the message. I had a conversation with 2 people who are similar to each other religiously. One of them was brought up LDS, and the other one converted to LDS about 10 years ago. This isn't about LDS. This is about women's right to choose. And I'm telling you the backstory behind what they believe in, because these people are LDS, okay, Mormon, like in some parts of Utah they still practice traditional Mormonism, and I'm not going to get into it, but my point is these people are very religious, okay? Yeah, they wouldn't hurt a fly. They are pro-choice, and I had to make a video about this because I'm just like, you have a religious background like that, just like I do, and you're pro-choice. Like pro-birth and pro-life to me are not the same thing. When a woman chooses to have a baby and she is happy and excited about it, whether she is single or not, it doesn't matter. Just whatever she is. Excuse me, my nose itches. Ugh, that looks terrible, but I don't really want to re-record this. when a woman is pro-life and she can have a child and she wants to do it regardless of whether she's with someone or not, that is pro-life. Pro-choice is well, it's pro-choice. It's the woman's right to choose, and it's a woman's sovereignty over her own body. I was brought up on all the religious texts. I don't want to hear from anyone who goes to church about how wrong I am. I don't. And if you are one of those people, please stop watching this and go your way, because I'm not here for people who want to argue with me about the point I'm making. This isn't up for discussion. No, it's not. And a lot of people think it is, but it's not up for discussion. And you haven't stopped pro-choice. You've just made it harder. And it's getting hard for me to talk again, which means collectively this is something that I am sorry. This is annoying me. They are clean, but I keep thinking I'm getting lipstick all over my teeth, and I'm not. But anyway, so objectively, as I was saying, this is insane. Women are going to choose sovereignty over their own body in whatever way that they need to, especially when they are a victim of a crime. I heard someone's reason for why a rape victim should be forced to carry the fetus. It is a fetus, not a child, until it is born. I was blown away. I couldn't believe the audacity and the self-righteousness, and she was so self-absorbed, and she was talking about how it would affect her if her father assaulted somebody, and I can't even remember everything she said because it was literally such a manipulation of someone's question. She got a round of applause at the end. Yeah, that's what politicians do. She was also the one who announced that Roe was overturned. There's a lot of things I have to say to her and a lot of women out there who are rejoicing that Roe was overturned. You are not pro-life. You don't care about those children. You think you do. You tell yourself that you do, but you don't. You don't. I had to terminate when my son was 4. I lived with my parents. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go to work. I'm not going to explain why. My son has special needs. He's always been special needs, and I would probably have had another special needs child, and I couldn't do it. There were no finances. There were no, how do I say this? Again, collectively, this is difficult to say because I'm getting short of breath, but if you know me at all, you know I'm a medium, so that's not weird for me. I had to terminate in 2015, and I never talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Yes, it's sad, but I would have given that child a terrible life, and I don't regret that. I regret that I couldn't have the experience of probably having a little girl. I always wanted a little girl and a little boy, you know, perfect family. Most people want boy and girl. It's the perfect American dream, right? But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm a boy mom. I'm proudly a boy mom. And if I ever had another one, I would probably want to have another boy. I'm just a boy mom. I'm built that way. I like being a boy mom. And I'm a tomboy. I never got along with the girly girls. I don't get along with the girly girls. I had to terminate when my son was 4 because of things that I'm not going to get into to explain to anyone, because you guys don't really care. If you've made it this far into the video, you understand that I had to make a choice, and I made the one that was best for me. Best for my son, best for my parents, best for my sister that was going to college, best for an unborn fetus that had no idea what was what. I regret the experience that I didn't get to have, but I don't regret ruining people's lives or being on welfare for the next 20 years or any number of things. I should have gone to college right after I graduated high school, and I didn't. I had my son instead. It is what it is. We all make our choices. I love him. He's 12. We have a great relationship, and I'm going to college soon. And I'm ready for it now. I wasn't ready for it at 19. Which even more proves a woman's right to choose. Some women have children early. Some women go to school. Some women take other avenues. Some women travel the world. That's their prerogative. And they should continue to have that prerogative and that right to choose. They should have autonomy and sovereignty over their bodies. So if I can hear from 2 different people who once was LDS and one who is LDS about how it is a woman's right to choose, I don't want to hear from anybody else about how it's... I can't say that word because I don't want YouTube to ban me. You know what I'm talking about. I had to do this video. It's been begging me to. And you can get on my other social media and you can troll me and you can say all kinds of things. I don't care. This is about a woman's right to choose, and I felt like it needed to be said. I felt like those things that I said needed to be said. And I'm not the first one to say them either. Not at all the first one to say them. I'm just reiterating not just what I've heard, but my own experiences. So, you know, when Roe was overturned, it felt like a violation. It didn't feel like a victory. And I pretty much banned everyone who was pro-birth and pro-life because I couldn't distinguish between the two when it was overturned. And I had one girl completely unfriend me and everything. I don't care. She said this needed to happen. I'm like, yeah, this needed to happen. You say that when you're pregnant with a child you don't want, or you say that if you've been assaulted and don't want to carry the child, but by state or federal law you have to. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, you have to travel to a blue state to even get Plan B. Plan B is not a termination. Plan B is to avoid a termination so that it doesn't get that far. Oh my god. And I have used Plan B before. I was not responsible in my 20s. I was not responsible at all. My parents had to help me raise my son for 10 years. And I met my partner 2020. My priorities still weren't straight. I have custody of my son. I've never lost custody of my son. I now live with him and my partner in our own house, and I am no longer dependent on my parents, but it took me 10 years to get there. Imagine me trying to do that with 2 special needs children, and I have mental health issues of my own. Don't say anything about mental health issues. That's so far out of your range. If you have anything to say about them, that is not even funny. It's actually illegal to say some of the stuff that I've seen some people say about people with mental health issues. It's just hard to prosecute somebody online. Anyway, so my right to choose gave me a better life. Every single woman's right to choose. It isn't even about her choice, okay? You know that. Every single woman's right to choose is, how do I put this? It's mandatory, man. There's no exception to this. Like, you pro-lifers who are actually pro-birthers, you have nothing to stand on. You don't want to take care of a child that nobody wants. No, you just want to control women's bodies. And you can troll this all you want, I don't care. My parents are religious down to religion, okay? I mean, they are as religious gets. They are pro-choice. Okay, have a philosophical conversation with my father and you will change your mind. I get my intelligence in these things from him. Have a religious and philosophical conversation with him and you will change your mind about pro-choice if you haven't already. Anyway, that is all I had to say on it. I don't really want to be redundant, and I have other things that I have to get onto. But I felt like this was necessary to say this, and I stand by it. Thank you for supporting me, for whoever does, and to the rest who don't, may you find your way. Blessings to all. I love you.